Hello everybody, this is Roving Shadow. How is everyone doing? I'm back with more Quest for Glory 4, Shadows of Darkness. And this time we will actually be speaking to the crazy scientist. But first let's look around. Let's look at some things.
Contraption looking nothing quite so much as a giant ray gun points towards the operating table. Now wait just a second. There's no such thing as a ray gun in Mordavia, is there?
Well, there very well may be. That's what this looks like.
You are in an incredibly cluttered laboratory. Flasks, vials, jars, and tubing cover every surface. Experiments are in progress everywhere.
Perfect. Let's look at this retort.
It looks for all the world like a medieval moonshine still. But Dr. Cranium is far too intelligent to drink alcohol, so he must be developing a new fuel or something. Dr. Cranium likes to stay ahead of his competitors.
Hilarious.
There's
a bug. I wanted to see the bug. Well.
It's a beaker full of eyes, and they all seem to be looking at you.
Oh, boy. Oh, that is not voiced? You quickly scan through 300,000 kilometers per second. Not just a... Oh, hey. I was reading that. Oh. It's a copy of Frank Einstein's famous I am not a monster. Oh, it's different every time. You're puzzled to find a copy of Chemical Conundrums. You learn that Dr. Cranium has a copy of 10 easy lessons for becoming a mad scientist. He's really doing it by the book. You're puzzled to... Yes. Okay, so quickly scan through 300,000 kilometers per second. Not just a good idea, it's the law. It's pretty light reading after all. And is it the law with the recent thing about neutrinos possibly going faster than the speed of light? That is up for debate. Okay. Oh, you start to look through Mad World, but it's making you crazy, so you stop. This racy little volume is Sextants and a Single Scientist. Science Made Silly. Anything else? Any other books? I think oh, there's Elementary Something. Okay, I think... Yeah, I think we went through them all. Okay. What's over here?
Some sort of complicated scientific experiment is going on here. Could it be the quest for the perfect cup of tea?
Now that is a worthy quest. We should be on that quest.
Glass globes of unknown intent hang in nets from the ceiling. It looks like a giant boiler. The chain attached to it looks like it activates some sort of release valve. These are bottles of chemicals Dr. Cranium uses in his experiments.
What's in them? Can we have them?
You are in an incredible...
Okay, that's that.
Even mad scientists' labs need fireplaces to keep warm in this climate.
Did I look at that?
You are in an...
Yeah.
Dr. Cranium looks considerably more like a demented wizard or mad scientist than a real scientist. Despite his white hair, you suspect that he's no more than middle-aged. He also seems to have developed a significant paunch. Root beer belly, no doubt.
What's on the table?
Dr. Cranium has an orderly personality, so he likes to arrange things in tables.
That is great. Can we take anything?
I am truly sorry, but I cannot afford to make this a lending library at this time. You may look at my books here all you like, but you may not take them with you.
Sorry. What about...
I really don't think you should do that.
No.
No, you don't really need glasses or glass globes.
Aw. Hey, can I pull this? Can I...
You try a couple of quick pulls on the chain. You're not at all sure what you've started, but it's definitely enough to make you nervous.
Oh, boy. Hope I didn't do anything too bad. Can I use the death ray?
The mysterious device begins to emit an ominous hum as you reach towards it.
Be careful there. That device is only for use by trained scientists.
I
Who
am...
knows what disaster might ensue should it ever be operated by a fumble-fingered amateur such as yourself?
Hey.
Besides, it is so much more fun when I do it.
I know it is, isn't it?
Stop! You need a license to operate that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I apologize. Can I take the skull?
It doesn't budge.
Aww. What about the retort?
Stop!
Okay, I'm sorry. What about the fire?
You warm your hands over the fire. Actually, they weren't terribly cold, but you never know when you might have to take on a few extra therms to fight the autumn chill.
What about these? Can I take these?
You'd better leave the bottles alone. The labeling system doesn't seem to make any great amount of sense. Actually, it's not at all clear that even Dr. Cranium really knows what's in them.
Yeah. What about what's on the table?
Better table that idea for now.
Aw. Okay, we had our fun. Let's greet Dr.
You
Cranium.
say hello to the scientist.
Welcome to my laboratory. You must have more than the usual intelligence and perseverance to have made it in here.
Yes. Let's introduce ourselves.
You introduce yourself to Dr. Cranium and tell him a little about your adventures.
I should be most interested to hear about your travels and your scientific discoveries along the way. Unfortunately, I have very little time for that right now. Perhaps we can discuss your adventures when you next return.
Absolutely. I would love to talk to you. Let's tell him about magic, even though we really shouldn't know anything
You explain to
about it.
Dr. Cranium that magic is really a lot like science, and even deals with the same elements.
Oh, nonsense! There's no such thing as magic. There is only science. What you call
Science.
magic is simply scientific phenomena that have not yet been properly investigated and catalogued.
Okay, let's now talk to him. Yes, we have all this, and most of these give more dialogue.
My name is Dr. Cranium. I am Moldavia's chief scientist and a certified genius. Some call me mad, but I much prefer Dr. Cranium.
Yes.
Yes, science. I'm glad you asked. Science is the process of systematically increasing our knowledge of the world through observation and experiment.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, some of the townspeople here seem to have no concept of the wonders of science.
Ah, that's a
Some of them
shame.
even claim my little inventions are magical. Such poppycock. There's no such thing as magic.
Only science.
Still, the townspeople insisted that I should be able to use my magic to cure wounds and sickness. I told them that I am a scientist, not a doctor, but they wouldn't listen. I had little choice but to concoct some simple elixirs. They were childishly pleased. Science is really so simple once you understand it.
Absolutely. What about
If you
stamina
want to
potions?
improve your stamina, then you should make sure you eat a healthy diet from all the different food groups and get plenty of aerobic exercise. That is science.
Public service announcement. There you go. Be healthy. Healing potion.
Oh, you must mean my patented healing drink. You may
Yes.
have my last one.
All right.
Unfortunately, I have forgotten the formula for its main ingredient. If you can help me remember it, I will be able to make some more healing drinks, although the work is very time-consuming.
Okay, and this is the game's copyright protection. With the game, you get a little like list of flagnuts and what it is to make it up. It's next to impossible to guess, because I mean, you could but it will take you a long time. So I am actually going to check my list and see what it is. So give me 1 second. Okay, and I'm back. So for Flygnets, it is air, pizza, fire, air, and pizza.
Thank you. With that information, I'm sure I shall be able to create some sensational scientific solutions.
Okay, and then poison cure.
Oh, you must mean my new universal poison antidote. You may have this one, but I will need some help with the formula to make more. Also, I am afraid I only have time to make one each day.
Okay, so this one, Elkhorn, is pizza, earth, pizza, air, air.
Thank you. With that information, I'm sure I shall be able to create some sensational scientific solutions.
And now, empty flask.
You ask Dr. Cranium if he can spare an empty flask for specimen collection.
Of course, of course. I am always delighted to assist scientific research of any kind, and I have plenty of flasks. You may have this one.
Ah, very good. Let's ask about experimentation.
Experiments are the meat and drink of science. First, you must come up with a hypothesis based on your understanding of the scientific elements.
Absolutely.
Then perform an experiment to test the hypothesis.
Yep.
Afterwards, you have a pizza.
You have to have a pizza.
Earth is for solidity and stability. Air gives freedom and movement. Fire provides power and energy. Water, fluidity and life. Pizza, of course, is the most important element of all.
That it is.
Pizza represents the essence of well-roundedness and regaining strength. Most importantly, you can have it delivered in under half an hour in most areas.
Ah, that's great. Pizza. Hypothesis.
A hypothesis is a scientific guess. One predicts the result of an operation, performs an experiment to test the prediction, then has a pizza to celebrate the result. It is very important to stay flexible, however. Sometimes the experiment may give a different result than predicted by the hypothesis. Since real scientists don't like to make mistakes, we always write the hypothesis in pencil.
Absolutely. We've always got to be able to change the hypothesis.
Pizza is a crucial ingredient in many scientific formulae. There is a nearly infinite variation in its effects, depending on whether one starts with pepperoni, mushrooms, artichokes, or plain cheese. One should always order extra pizza in case the experiment requires additional materials. Besides, science is hungry work.
Yes, it is. Hungry, hungry work. Okay. So, we went through science. Time for magic.
There is, of course, no such thing as magic. There is only science.
Science!
Still, you would be amazed at how gullible some people are. Just the other day, someone gave me this scroll saying it was a magical spell. Can you believe that? It is purest poppycock. Nothing on here makes any sense whatsoever. Here, you may have this as a reminder that magic is a figment of fevered imagination. Only science is real.
Obviously, Dr. Cranium needs to take a correspondence course from the famous wizard school. As you read the scroll, you find that you have learned the incantations and gestures with which to cast a glide spell. Then the scroll vanishes.
There, you see, it was not even a very good piece of parchment. Fell right apart.
Okay, let's see. Igor.
Igor is the gravedigger and tombstone carver. Business has been slow lately, perhaps because there are very few people left in town. So Igor sometimes comes in to help me with my work.
Ah, very good. Tell us about Igor's business.
Igor has had less work of late. The forest is just as dangerous, but there aren't very many people left in town who are stupid enough to go out there at night, you know. I like to think of it as a sort of evolution in action.
Absolutely. Gravestone.
Igor is carving out quite a niche for himself in the gravestone business. You might say he is well on his way to becoming a rock star. Then again, you might not.
Yeah, no. Tell us about the cemetery.
The cemetery is outside of town to the east. It has proven a fruitful source of materials for my experiments. There are also some interesting and cryptic puzzles to be solved there.
Oh, really? And that is very creepy. You know what? I don't even not want to know what those materials are. I will assume that, it's just certain plants grow there. That's all. Please be all. What about the fluid?
Essential etheric fluid is an important ingredient in my formula for reanimating dead bodies. It contains the essence of the element of water, the most important ingredient in life science.
I thought pizza was. And what was that? Reanimating the dead? Okay.
This laboratory is where I perform some of my most important research. Lately, I have been trying to bring life back to a dead body and to brew the perfect cup of tea.
Very important. Dead to life.
Reanimating the dead is just another day's work in the life of a scientist.
Absolutely.
Even science cannot bring a person back right the way they were, but one can use scientific principles to restore the semblance of life and energy to formerly dead flesh.
What was this about the perfect tea? 'Cause that sounds
The
good.
one alchemical combination that I have thus far been unable to fully analyze is that of a good cup of tea. I'm sure there must be a way to duplicate the effects of nature, but the results have not been promising so far.
Oh, that's a shame.
Perhaps you would like a cup of spearmint and beefsteak tea? I thought not. This is even harder than rehydration solution and reviving dead tissue.
Beef steak tea. Yum. Delicious.
Research is the heart and soul of science. Without constant experimentation to prove or disprove one's hypotheses, the scientist is left trying to solve the world's problems by guesswork. That is hardly the most efficient way to achieve results.
Okay, lab equipment.
I try to maintain a modest selection of useful experimental equipment in my simple laboratory.
Oh, that's good.
Unfortunately, it has become very difficult to obtain the most modern scientific accessories since the road out of the valley became closed by the swamp.
That's a shame, but you don't need the newest things. You just make do with what you have.
Mad? Mad? They all call me mad, but what do they know of madness? I am not mad. A bit perturbed about the world situation and how I get so little respect, perhaps, but certainly not mad.
Sorry. Okay, you're not mad. You're a very happy person. Sorry. Well, that's all that we can
You
do
say goodbye
here.
to Dr. Cranium.
Please be careful not to break the beakers or crack the flasks on your way out.
Okay, I won't do that. I am very careful. Okay.
Come back and visit again.
Absolutely.
Oh, and if you see Igor, please tell him I still need the fluid.
Alright, we'll tell him you need the fluid. Okay, that was interesting. And we've now got this flask, so let's use it on us.
That's really flasking for it. It's empty.
Okay, and then let's look at it. Useful for storing liquids and powders. Okay. Let's head out. And, oh wow! We've spent a lot of time talking, because, well, it is already nighttime.
The Burgermeister's window is securely shuttered against the night. This heavy...
Oops. Well, seeing as it's getting dark, let's head to the inn, and let's try and
The door is locked and probably barred as well.
Okay, let's knock on
You
it.
hear movement on the other side of the door. After a few minutes, you hear someone removing the bar and unlocking the bolts on the other side of the door. The inhabitants of the inn eye you suspiciously. You get the feeling that you're not particularly welcome here.
We should be welcome. Well, let's greet everyone
They all stare at you for a moment, then go...
and tell about ourselves.
We do not believe in heroes in Mordavia. We have no need of heroes here.
Yeah, I mean a hero's a nice sandwich, but I don't want to live next door to one.
Actually, I had an uncle once who was a hero.
Will you give me a break with all this hero stuff? Enough!
Okay. Let's go and talk to these guys. Let's ask them about strangers.
You know, we don't get many strangers here, now that the pass outside's been cut off.
He's right. We don't trust ones who come here by unknown means.
Yeah, particularly strangers we don't know.
We tend to be kinda suspicious of strangers, and I think I'm looking at one right now.
No.
Yeah, that's why we made the sign that says strangers are unwelcome and unwanted.
I didn't see that sign.
Right. And in our own subtle way, we try to get across the fact that we don't like 'em very much.
Very subtle.
Strangers bring bad luck.
Strangers bring trouble.
Actually, the last stranger brought a jester's hat and a staff, but we still don't trust him.
Oh, who is...
Anything else you want to know, stranger?
Maybe. What is this jester person?
You know, there's another stranger in town besides you.
Oh, and let me tell you, he is very strange, okay?
Strange. The dude ain't even human.
No one knows how he got here or why he came.
No one knows where he goes during the day, or who he's trying to meet, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he tells jokes. At least I think he does.
Oh.
Yeah, he says he's a real jester.
He dresses like Sonny Bono.
And he acts like a gnome.
He is a gnome, Einstein.
Okay. Let's ask about town again.
The town of Mordavia is a very safe place to be, gotta tell you.
Oh yeah, you got nothing to fear within the walls of the town.
Other than the old monastery.
Yeah, the old monastery. As long as you don't venture into the old monastery, you'll be safe as milk in this town.
The monastery was fine.
As long as you don't even think of getting near the old monastery, you're gonna be okay.
Did I, mention the monastery door?
It's perfectly safe.
Oh, yeah, right. The monastery door. Look, as long as you don't go near the monastery door.
In fact, nowhere near the monastery. Don't even think about it.
You'll be perfectly safe in the town of Mordavia.
Oh, that's great. But really, the monastery was fine. I don't know why you're all worried. I mean, as long as you have the Dark One sign. If you don't have that, sure, you might get eaten, but nothing to worry about. How are you all doing?
Hey, look, there's nothing wrong with us.
Yeah, we're okay. We've been tested.
Well, to tell you the truth, I do feel a cold sore coming on.
Oh, that's great. Tell us about the night.
Hey, Mordavian nights are dangerous.
Oh, he's right, you know. Nobody goes out at night, except my girlfriend, but she's working.
Her and a few
Oh, wow.
ghosts and revenants, a wraith and vampire or two.
What?
Hold it, put it in part. There are no vampires in Mordavia.
Okay.
Vampires in Moldavia. Whoever heard of such nonsense?
I hate to burst your bubble, but my Uncle Fred was bitten by a vampire once.
No.
Your Uncle Fred's alive and well and retired till Silmaria. Hello?
Yeah, I know him. He sends you a postcard every harvest time saying, "Where's my $20?"
Well, he had a miraculous recovery.
Really? Oh, I love those guys. They are amazing. Let's have a seat Let's get some grub.
You get a fine meal of roast lamb garnished with red cabbage. Oh, and liberally flavored with garlic.
That sounds good. All this food sounds good. Let's
That-
eat it. Come on.
That,
I mean,
that,
and then it's... Never mind. I mean, usually it just says...
Now the taste.
You pick at the garlic and... Ah, well. Let's talk to Yuri.
I am well.
Okay. Very well.
My wife keeps the kitchen, and I keep the inn. Together, we make the Hotel Mordavia the best place to stay in all this valley.
Very good. And really the only place to stay in the valley. But that's besides the point. Tell us about the town.
They come in here in the evening to talk, to drink, and relax.
Tell us about the food.
My wife prepares and serves 2 hearty meals a day. I am sure you will find them satisfying. Just sit down in the chair by the door, and Bella will be happy to serve you.
Okay. Give me the lowdown on garlic.
Garlic is our national vegetable. We all love garlic around here, don't we, my friends?
of course. Hey, everyone loves garlic.
Yeah, it's stinky. It's our country's flower.
I don't care much for garlic.
No.
I don't remember asking.
Yes, they are all great. So yeah, I think I will stop here. This is a pretty good spot to stop at. Next time, I believe we will actually be leaving town and starting the actual adventure. So that will be exciting. I mean, we will have some more talking to do, but not nearly as much as we've had these past few episodes. So yeah, I will see you all next time.